Welcome! Today, we're diving into one of the most debated questions in personal finance. Is it better to buy a house or rent? This decision impacts not just your wallet, but your lifestyle, flexibility, and long-term goals. We'll break down the pros and cons of each option, look at the financial implications, and consider lifestyle factors that often get overlooked. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of which path might be right for you. Let's start by exploring what it really means to buy versus rent a home. When you buy a house, you're making a long-term investment. This usually involves taking out a mortgage, making a down payment, and committing to monthly payments for years. Homeownership means you're responsible for maintenance, property taxes, and insurance. But it also means you can build equity over time and potentially benefit from property value appreciation. Buying is often seen as a step towards stability and wealth building, but it comes with its own set of risks and responsibilities. Let's compare this with what it means to rent. Renting a home means you pay a landlord for the right to live in a property, usually on a monthly basis. You don't own the property, so you're not responsible for major repairs or property taxes. Renting offers flexibility, you can move more easily, and your upfront costs are typically lower. However, you don't build equity, and your rent payments don't contribute to ownership. For many, renting is a way to maintain mobility or avoid the responsibilities that come with owning a home. Buying a house usually requires a significant upfront investment. This includes a down payment, closing costs, and ongoing expenses like mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Renting, on the other hand, typically requires a security deposit and the first month's rent. Your monthly payments are predictable, and you're not responsible for most repairs. Understanding these financial commitments is crucial when deciding which option fits your budget and long-term plans. One of the main arguments for buying a home is the ability to build equity. Each mortgage payment you make increases your ownership stake in the property. Over time, as the value of your home appreciates, your equity grows even more. This can be a powerful way to build wealth. In contrast, rent payments go to your landlord and don't contribute to any ownership. For those focused on long-term financial growth, building equity is a key consideration. Renting offers unmatched flexibility. If you need to move for a job, family, or simply want a change of scenery, it's much easier to end a lease than to sell a house. Homeownership ties you to one location, making it harder to relocate quickly. For people whose lives are in flux or who anticipate major changes, renting can be the more practical choice. Flexibility is especially valuable in today's fast-changing world. When you own a home, you're responsible for all maintenance and repairs. This can mean unexpected expenses and the need to handle everything from leaky roofs to broken appliances. Renters, on the other hand, can usually call the landlord for repairs, with no extra cost. This difference can have a big impact on your time, stress levels, and budget. Consider how much responsibility you're willing to take on before making your decision. Owning a home can provide a sense of stability and security. You don't have to worry about rent increases or being asked to move out. Your home is yours, and you can make long-term plans. Renters may face uncertainty if a landlord decides to sell or raise the rent. For families or individuals seeking a stable environment, homeownership can offer peace of mind that renting sometimes cannot. Buying a house often requires a substantial down payment, usually ranging from 5% to 20% of the purchase price. There are also closing costs, which can add thousands more. Renting typically requires only a security deposit and the first month's rent. For many, the high upfront costs of buying are a significant barrier, while renting is more accessible in the short term. Monthly expenses for homeowners include mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. These costs can fluctuate, especially with variable rate mortgages or unexpected repairs. Renters usually have a fixed monthly payment, making budgeting easier. However, rent can increase over time, sometimes unexpectedly. Understanding these ongoing costs is essential for making a sound financial decision. A home is often considered a long-term investment. Over decades, property values tend to rise, allowing homeowners to build wealth. However, real estate markets can be unpredictable, and there's no guarantee your home will appreciate. Renting, by contrast, doesn't offer investment returns, but it also shields you from market downturns. Weighing the potential for growth against the risks is an important part of the decision. Real estate markets can go up or down. If you buy during a peak, your home's value could drop, leaving you with less equity or even owing more than your home is worth. Renters aren't affected by market swings in the same way. They can move if rents rise too much or if the neighborhood changes. Understanding market risks is crucial for anyone considering buying a home. Homeowners may benefit from tax deductions, such as mortgage interest and property taxes, which can lower their overall tax bill. However, these benefits depend on your location and personal tax situation. Renters don't get these deductions, but they also avoid property tax bills altogether. It's important to consult a tax professional to understand how buying or renting will affect your taxes. Owning a home gives you the freedom to renovate, decorate, and truly make the space your own. You can paint walls, remodel kitchens, and landscape the yard. Renters are usually limited in what changes they can make, often needing landlord approval for even minor updates. If personalizing your living space is important to you, homeownership offers more control. Your lifestyle plays a big role in this decision. If you value stability, community, and putting down roots, buying may be the better choice. If you prefer flexibility, travel, or anticipate major life changes, renting could be more suitable. Think about your career, family plans, and personal goals when weighing your options. When you buy a home, your money is tied up in the property. That's money you can't invest elsewhere. Renting frees up cash that could be invested in stocks, bonds, or other opportunities. Consider what you might do with the money you'd otherwise spend on a down payment or home maintenance. Sometimes, the opportunity cost of buying can outweigh the benefits. One downside of renting is the potential for rent increases. Landlords can raise the rent at the end of your lease, sometimes significantly. This can make budgeting difficult and may force you to move if the new rent is unaffordable. Homeowners with fixed-rate mortgages enjoy stable payments, providing more predictability over time. If you buy in the right market, your home's value may increase significantly over time. This appreciation can lead to substantial profits if you sell. However, not all markets perform equally, and some homeowners may see little or no appreciation. Renters don't benefit from rising property values, but they also avoid the risk of depreciation. Just as home values can rise, they can also fall. Economic downturns, neighborhood decline, or oversupply can reduce your home's value. This risk is borne entirely by homeowners. Renters, meanwhile, can simply move if a neighborhood declines or if better opportunities arise elsewhere. Renting gives you the freedom to move with minimal hassle. Whether it's for a new job, family reasons, or just a change of scenery, renters can relocate at the end of a lease. Homeowners must sell or rent out their property, which can take time and involve extra costs. If you value mobility, renting is often the better choice. For many, owning a home is about more than money. It's a symbol of achievement, stability, and belonging. The pride of ownership and the ability to create a lasting home can be deeply fulfilling. Renters may not feel the same attachment, but they can enjoy the freedom and lack of long-term commitment. Emotional factors are just as important as financial ones in this decision. If you have or plan to have a family, stability may be a top priority. Owning a home can provide a consistent environment for children and a sense of community. Renting can mean moving more often, which might disrupt schooling and friendships. Consider your family's needs and future plans when making your choice. Your job situation can influence your decision. If your job is stable and you plan to stay in one place for several years, buying may make sense. If your career requires frequent moves or has uncertain prospects, renting provides the flexibility you need. Always consider your employment outlook before committing to a mortgage. Mortgage interest rates play a huge role in the cost of buying a home. Low rates make buying more affordable, while high rates can significantly increase your monthly payments. Renters aren't affected by interest rates, but they may face rising rents. Keep an eye on market trends when deciding whether to buy or rent. Homeownership comes with hidden costs, from repairs and maintenance to HOA fees and property taxes. These can add up quickly and catch new homeowners off guard. Renters may face fewer surprises, as most costs are covered by the landlord. Always budget for the unexpected when considering buying a home. If you only plan to stay in an area for a few years, renting is usually the smarter choice. The costs of buying and selling a home, like agent commissions and closing costs, can outweigh any potential gains from appreciation. Renting gives you flexibility without the risk of losing money on a quick sale. If you plan to stay in one place for a decade or more, buying can make more sense. Over time, you'll build equity, benefit from appreciation, and avoid rising rents. The longer you stay, the more you can offset the upfront costs of buying. Long-term stability is a key advantage of homeownership. Homeowners are required to carry insurance to protect against damage or loss. This is an added expense that renters may not face, as renters' insurance is typically much cheaper and covers only personal belongings. Understanding the difference in insurance costs is important when comparing buying and renting. Many homes, especially in planned communities or condos, come with homeowners association (HOA) fees. These fees cover shared amenities and maintenance, but can add hundreds of dollars to your monthly expenses. Renters typically don't pay these fees directly. Always factor HOA costs into your budget when considering a home purchase. Renting doesn't usually impact your credit score unless you miss payments or your landlord reports your payment history. Buying a home, however, involves taking on debt, which can affect your credit. Making mortgage payments on time can improve your score, but missed payments can hurt it. Consider how each option affects your credit profile. Many rental properties offer amenities like pools, gyms, and maintenance services that might be expensive to own privately. These perks can add value to renting, especially for those who enjoy convenience and community features. Homeowners must pay for these amenities out of pocket or through HOA fees. Renters enjoy fewer responsibilities. If something breaks, the landlord handles repairs. There's no need to worry about property taxes, major maintenance, or landscaping. This can free up time and reduce stress, making renting an attractive option for those who prefer a hands-off lifestyle. Homeowners often develop stronger community ties. Staying in one place allows you to build relationships with neighbors, participate in local events, and contribute to the community. Renters may move more frequently, making it harder to establish these connections. If community involvement is important to you, buying may be the better option. Renting is often the only affordable option in expensive urban areas. Buying in cities can be prohibitively expensive, while renting allows you to enjoy city life without a massive financial commitment. If you love the energy and convenience of urban living, renting may be your best bet. Buying a home is often more feasible in suburban or rural areas, where prices are lower and space is more abundant. Homeownership can offer a quieter lifestyle, more privacy, and room to grow. If you're looking for a long-term home outside the city, buying may be the right move. Renting is a great option for those looking to downsize. Whether you're an empty nester or just want a simpler life, renting allows you to choose a smaller space without the burden of selling a home. It's a flexible way to adjust your living situation as your needs change. If you need more space for a growing family or home office, buying allows you to upsize and customize your living environment. You can choose a home that fits your needs and make changes as your family grows. Renting larger spaces can be expensive and less flexible in terms of customization. Renting gives you the freedom to try out different neighborhoods or cities without a long-term commitment. You can experience various lifestyles and communities before deciding where to settle down. This flexibility is a major advantage for those still searching for their ideal location. Homeownership can be part of your legacy. You can pass your home on to your children or use it as a financial asset in retirement. Owning property can provide generational wealth and stability that renting cannot. If leaving something behind matters to you, buying may be the right choice. Renting can support a minimalist lifestyle. With less space and fewer possessions, you can focus on experiences rather than things. Renting makes it easier to move, travel, and live simply. For those who value minimalism, renting is often the preferred choice. There's a unique sense of pride that comes with owning your own home. It's a place that's truly yours, where you can create memories and invest in your future. This emotional satisfaction is a big reason many people choose to buy, even when renting might make more financial sense. Renting allows you to avoid taking on large amounts of debt. Mortgages can be stressful, especially if your financial situation changes. Renting keeps your finances flexible and avoids the long-term commitment of a loan. For those wary of debt, renting is a safer option. Let's visually compare the costs of buying versus renting over a 1-0-year period. We'll look at upfront costs, monthly payments, maintenance, and potential appreciation. This schematic will help you see how the numbers stack up and which option might be more affordable in the long run, depending on your personal situation. Ultimately, the choice between buying and renting depends on your personal circumstances, financial goals, and lifestyle preferences. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Take time to consider your priorities, run the numbers, and think about where you see yourself in the future. Both options have their merits, and the best choice is the one that aligns with your unique situation. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the pros and cons of buying versus renting a home. Remember, what's right for one person may not be right for another. Whether you choose to buy or rent, make sure your decision supports your financial health and personal happiness. Good luck on your journey to finding the perfect place to call home.